play the iCarly theme song?
You want stream to get taken down?
Yeah, actually, you don't want to mess with Viacom.
No, I'll make our home.
I know. Oh yeah, I know what
try.
you're talking about.
Drop a beat, Jody.
Actually, no, they did Disney Channel.
We just need the template for their stuff and then we'll replace their videos.
Big brain.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried to
So
do
you got a
that.
notification on your phone that it's going?
No, you shouldn't. Because, remember,
That
it's a
was it.
private stream.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. But it's only to KVIKS TV.
Yes.
Oh,
And
okay.
KVIKS TV is an unlisted stream.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You gotta high five
No,
yourself.
It's not going above 13.
but even student can go to 4,000.
It's only going to 15. It's been going for at least a minute. And it's like slowly climbing, but...
I mean, it needs content to stream too, yeah?
Ew, is it on?
Huh?
Should be on.
Okay, what is the screenshot this time?
Oh yeah, should be
Okay,
working.
it's going now. Yeah, it's going much faster.
Much faster?
Much faster.
Okay, you wanna grab the tubes, let's get started.
It's like a full 2,400. And climbing. I'm totally right in the frame of the camera, aren't
Yes,
I?
you are so
Okay, I should probably get out of the way.
We're going live.
We're already
I
live.
can't believe I didn't. We hope.
Oh great. So what do I do? Post it on band?
Yeah.
And then, if I do it right, I should be able to see myself waiting.
That's-
Over
What
here?
are you posting?
You got me scratching my face.
You got you scratching your face.
Yeah.
Oh no.
When did you wave? Like right here? So what do I do? Post it on band? I don't remember my credentials.
You got me scratching my face.
Gracia, is your mom here yet?
No, you guys can start without her.
Okay, Jody, is your mom here yet?
She's on her way. But my,
How far is she on her way?
I don't know.
So what you're about to witness, everybody, is us posting something and no one responding to it. Couldn't make the meeting. Watch it live.
Oh no.
I'll be the first to respond. Watch.
Oh, it says private. So you're about to visibility unlisted. Done. No one responding to it.
Hey, I responded.
Okay, check to see if the link works. Visibility unlisted. So this is our band. This is kind of like
if the owner
our.
of this video has granted you access, please away.
How did you already respond to it? It just got posted like a few seconds ago.
So we use this kind of like to communicate with everybody. We try to get RSVPs for the parent meeting on here, including this. We also post some internal no-nos. Oh, also positions
Can you see it?
No.
So where
Hey.
is this?
unavailable.
It's private.
Okay, I'm gonna have to make this public then.
I can't see.
Okay, it should work now.
Yeah, it works.
Okay, I'm gonna have to make this. I just realized we can. Okay, I'm gonna have to make this public then. Oh, because we're listening it here. It's gonna be double for like a little while. Okay, so we know it's working now.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Okay. Oh, okay. Very good. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for coming to our first school year 1920 parent meeting. We apologize for not having this earlier because we really wanted you guys behind us. And I know there's only like 3 families here right now out of the 37 that's associated with us. So, but we will do our best to honor your time. We did say the meeting was going to end at 8, but we're going to get you out of here much faster than that. Okay, yeah. Because we ourselves don't believe a live stream should last more than an hour and a half, right? So, no. That's a typical game. Well, anyways, let's go to the PowerPoint then. So, alright, using this fancy clicker that Halma brought for me. Okay, perfect. Let's just start the transition. My name is Luke Clipsohano. I am the technology coordinator of Hilo High School. And this is my contact information. You should have this because we asked, every application we sent home this year actually had all of our contact information on it. If you don't have it, we'll be happy to share it with you again. Especially since you're trusting your children with us. And when it comes to sometimes working till 11 o'clock at night depending on the stream. So I want to introduce you to the other mentors and advisors that we have here. So, first off, we have Mr. Hinano Naiole, who's right there. You can tell him by his distinct set of hair that that he's associated with. Actually, no, that's how you can distinguish Hinano. And this is Mr. Renard Galdones. He's also he works with me in the tech department. He says sorry he couldn't be here tonight, but he had already other plans as well. But so Hinano is one of our main photographers for KVIKS TV, and he's also the computer lab coordinator for Hilo High School. So he organizes the use of our computer lab upstairs, and Renard actually coordinates the use of the library. Yeah, and also works as a computer technician or IT specialist. Our other advisors, click. Is it left? Okay, so we have the two Brandons. This is Brandon Hamamoto, or Hama, and he's right here. Hama worked with the Hilo High School Tech Department last year, and then he accepted a sub-position for teaching digital media and business for CTE. So that opened up for Renard to come join us in the tech department. But Hama wonderfully offered to continue helping out KVIKS even though he became a teacher. And then this is Brandon Arakaki. He is also an advisor. He helps out with KVIKS AV. So that's all of our AV stuff, except for when I sent Hinata to do it, like today. And Brandon is also my counterpart in technology. We both share the same official title, which is basically data processing user support technician. Basically, we're the two people who's supposed to help the Hilo High School teachers. But now I have just him because KVIKS turned into something much larger than what it was before. And that required more time spent by someone on staff. And so that's another person that isn't listed is Papa Oli, which is my dad. He's the school's parent community network coordinator, so the PCNC. He's the one that sends out the newsletter and is part of the communications branch of Hilo High School as well. Now, on the screen here, you see the pictures and the names of our 4 club officers. And so we have Jody Ortiz, president. She's right here. She's the junior right now. And we have 3 people. These 2 were planning on coming, but they couldn't. So Nicholas Airhorn, vice president. He's a sophomore. Secretary Jay Chudenik, who's a senior. And treasurer Cheyenne Sanchez Adams, also a senior in the class of 2020. Jade is the only person who was a secretary from last year. So Jody, Nicholas, and Cheyenne both were elected this year into their positions. Now, you might see some terms going on in this meeting because we really want to explain to you what KVIKS truly is. You probably heard about it from your students or from your children about, oh, I have to do this, I have to go do a live stream, or I help make the morning bulletin. But it's much more than what you hear from that. And you're going to see terms like club, KVIKS TV club, and terms like KVIKS TV program. There actually is a total difference between the two. So if you look at the sign right behind you, I know it's kind of inconvenient. It says KVIKS TV. Underneath that, it says Hilo High School Technology Department Communications Branch. KVIKS TV is what we officially call the school's official communications branch. The communications branch is made up of the Hilo High School principal, which was Mr. Robert Dirks, but now Miss Jasmine Orosaki. Not Jasmine Gardner, unfortunately. Myself, Arakaki, so the two DPOSTs, Renard Galdones, and my dad. And along with the school SASA, Mr. Brandon Respicio. So the 5 of us together, we actually determined what goes out of our communications for the whole school. So everything from the morning bulletin to a live stream to a PSA, social media, website, app, that's all the communications branch. And so that's working hand in hand with these 5 adults. We have a lot of need for assistance because the principal, they can't be responsible for going out and recording announcements, right? The SASA has to do the business of the school, such as making sure payroll goes out, right? And the things, operations goes on, right? And the PCNT, his job is working with parents. And then of course the 2 technology people, we're supposed to be helping out and like installing computers and training teachers and basically making the school run technologically, including all of our Chromebook cards, everything. So we have all these different things that we have to do. So together, we had decided 3 years ago to come to take over the KVIKS program. And that the KVIKS program originally was a CTE program based off of the Digital Media Arts and Communications Pathway Course. The only way for students to participate in KVIKS before was to go through the Arts and Communication Pathway Course first, their freshman sophomore year, then go to the Digital Media class, and then Broadcast Media, which was KVIKS. So when we first took over KVIKS, it happened 3 years ago in school year 17-18. And before, KVIKS used to be done live in a classroom. And unfortunately, the technology they used to do it was old, outdated. It was so outdated, let's just say this, I graduated Hilo High School 2011. Hinata graduated 2009, not age 29, 2009. The KVIKS equipment that was being used back in 2017 was the same equipment that was used in our school years. And it wasn't even modern to us either. It was old, outdated as well. But we got it live. And the cool thing was, my freshman year, it was still being done over the PA systems. No visual aids whatsoever. Yeah? And so the fact that there was even a video conferencing style morning bulletin wasn't new to the schools because Hilo Media did it through Naleo TV when I was going to that school back in 06 and 07. Yeah? So it goes to show that Hilo High School had a struggle coming up with having better ways of communicating to all of our families and to our students. And after KVIKS became a program, even the student, we only had 7 students in that program. All we did was make the morning bulletin. Yet that still wasn't enough. We needed more and more students because those kids, they played soccer, track, bowling, basketball. They did all the different sports, and we had a need, and that's when we started to open it up to anyone else can join. And once you realize, so that's when Jody joined and other students joined. I think Thomas kind of joined right towards the end, right? Thomas was given the de facto position of being in charge of AV once the 2 AV kids graduated, right? Yeah. So we quickly took over AV to help Thomas. Yeah. So we opened up their program. We had more students join us, and then last year it officially became a club. That way, anyone, any grade, you don't have to be in the Arts Communication Pathway Core. You can be in IET, business, whatever. You can be in KVIKS. You can do Arts Communication, CTE stuff. Yeah? And then that opened up the bridge to everything else. So as far as the club goes, these 4 individuals are the ones in charge of the personnel. Yeah? So we have to... Hello, Brisha. Hello, welcome. Find the seat. We just grab it. So these 4 people are in charge of the personnel and also the day-to-day operations and helping us out with organizing people to actually show up. Yeah. Because of the way the program is established, we needed to have what you would call a front with the school. And that would be a chartered program. So that's why we had to have a club. That way we can fundraise. We can also be listed as an official extracurricular activity, aside from just being volunteer work. Right, so this is what we're going to quickly go over. We're going to actually show you what KVIKS does. We're going to discuss our view of commitment, and then show you the upcoming projects, and then lastly, how you can help as well. As I just mentioned, KVIKS TV is integrated very heavily into the day-to-day operations of Hilo High School. We are not an ordinary club. Some of you might be in other clubs, right? You might be in Taiko, you might be in Leo Club, you might be in... what other clubs were you guys in? Maybe some of you were in band before. Key Club. You're in Key Club, right? PALC, Ambassadors, right? How many of them can actually say that aside from what they do for Key Club, Leo Club, they're service clubs, right? They go do community service projects around town, and they help out. They're currently helping out at the foundation dinner. They help out at the games, right? The football games. PALC does the musicals and the playwrights. Ambassadors, they go do caroling, right? Teco, they do performances and other clubs, other programs. can they say that they're as involved that we are? Do they actively do AV? Do they do are their faces in front of the TV all the time? Are they posting things online? Not really. Yeah? And so that's what makes KVIKS very, very unique, is that we're a club that actually represents Hilo High School itself. And that comes with a great responsibility when it comes to that. And so because of that, we are so appreciative that we have students. We have 37 students as part of our program. You might not see the evidence here today, but that's what we're here to discuss tonight. So here's what we do. So we produce the KVIKS TV Morning Bulletin. It's a daily video that's made every weekday and is shown at the beginning of every school day. If you look at the official bell schedule, we actually have 5 minutes listed for KVIKS. So the school actually views the bulletin as very important. The reason why is because we need to show evidence that the school itself is actually presenting information to students, that we're not communicating, that we are communicating with the students. Whether they choose to listen is up to them. We can say without a doubt that if they ever miss an announcement, we can just tell them, well, it was on KVIKS. Well, I wasn't watching. Well, that's your fault. Oh, but I missed the announcement. It's on the TV. No, it wasn't. It's also on YouTube. Right? So that's what we do. We make the morning bulletin. We also operate the audio-video equipment for spirit rallies and assemblies. So Thomas is the chairperson for that. He's in charge of making sure we have fully staffed crew for that, and also training those individuals on how to use the sound equipment. That's a picture of one of our old seniors, Jared Goodwin. He was a valedictorian and also featured in a documentary film called Imagining Tomorrow. Yeah, Imagining Tomorrow, and he also is a national science fair winner. So I think it was, yeah, it's some pretty big deal. Yeah, and yet he still took photos for us. How cool is that? So KVIKS TV also records skits and PSAs. So these two are what we affectionately call the Nam twins, because every time they came in, it would give us flashbacks to, well, basically they never took things in one take. Sometimes 20 takes. And then of course editing the video was a nightmare. It was and because it kept happening over and over again, we kept having flashbacks to the first time we had to deal with them, which was horrible. So we called them the Nam twins. But we love them now. They also graduated. They're both going to college, universities on the mainland right now. So we record, so like the classes come in or any other program comes in, they want to record an announcement. We film it for them. We recently did with Hinano, we did senior week, we did prom, senior prom, and sometimes like, I think we also did, what are some other examples that we did so recently? Variety show. Yeah. Junior Day. Yeah, we did all that kind of stuff. So we also help them write and record their skits and PSAs. Also National Honor Society helped them with that too. We also publish the articles to the Hilo High School website, app, and social media. So that's how you can tell that the information is unified. It comes from one source, KVIKS TV. Yeah, so all the things posted to the website does not make it past at least one of our desks. And so yeah, so this, and the fun part about this is students are the ones posting this information to the website. We really believe in student involvement in this case. Yeah, and if you look at most of the program, aside from the ones of us who are here, the advisors, etc., right? The students are the ones doing most of the work for us. Yes, you might see the advisors behind the equipment from time to time, right? But we're all for teaching the students on how to use it, because you truly believe this to be industry level skills. We also organize and produce the live streams for athletics and social and special events. So this is a picture of our live stream for volleyball, no, for basketball. And unfortunately for basketball, we're shuffled outside, but hopefully for volleyball, we get our old spot upstairs back. But who knows, I think we kind of worked up to the spot being very easy for equipment, yeah. However, it's cold, but I just got told from our t-shirt guy that he has beanies for us now, so that's pretty great, yeah. Yeah. So these live streams sometimes have a frequency of 3 times a week. Next week we have 2 live streams on a Wednesday and Friday. And it will show you exactly how much people it takes for us to do that. But not just these live streams. So we've done football at Wong Stadium. That's KVIKS on the road for the first time this year. We did girls volleyball. We did boys. We're going to do boys volleyball. We did girls and boys basketball. here, and because of that strict schedule, that's why sometimes I could say 3 to 4 times a week frequency, because they sometimes had 2 games per team per week, and that was very busy. And of course, they had the tournaments that were going on, which had 3 different days of live streaming. Even last year, we experimented with going on the road for the first time when we were asked to film the Winter Basketball Classic at a Inn auditorium or a civic center at down by Monona Street. And that was the first time we ever live streamed off campus, and that was something else. That showed us that we could definitely do football, which we did, and we were able to capture the state championship team all the way through from, well, not their first game because the power went out, but we won't talk about that. Yeah. And of course, we also do Mayday and stuff like that, and we also we're also partnered with PBS Hawaii, so Channel 10. Right? Maybe you remember watching PBS Kids growing up, Arthur, that kind of fun stuff, right? So PBS Hawaii, their Hikino program is the statewide student news network. We have their banner right there, proud to be Hikino School. We're one of many schools around the entire state that collaborate on this project. And most recently, this crew here, which is the Winter Challenge, they won 3rd place in the high school division. So yeah, congratulations, Jody. Yeah, and Preston. Oh, and Jazz. Yeah, you're all here except for one. That person. But we still have him though. This is actually Block's brainchild right there. Yeah. This is a never before seen clip that will never be seen ever, where we tried to fake Presley as being Leilani's brother, but the journalistic creed means that to be truthful, right? Even though it was super funny, but that's okay. So their video actually will be premiering next week on PBS Hawaii. So stay tuned for that. Click. Yeah, and also KVIKS TV takes photographs for online, so our social media, our website, and we kind of slip it over to Yearbook because we feel bad for them. Because I remember growing up, Yearbook used to be the people. They used to be the ones that you would go to for all the pictures. Now the tables have turned. Now they come to us. They say, "Oh, did you go to this event? Yeah. You have pictures? Yes." Say, "Okay, can we have it, please?" Say, "Okay, sure. You're gonna credit us?" "No, okay. I guess Rock Hill High School here. I see. We'll know which one it is." But yeah, and so again, Hinano's our primary photographer, with him and his big camera right over there. Is that right there behind you?
No, that's Ito's.
Wow, amazing. Yeah. So most of the pictures you see on social media come from this program, and especially from the events. So we have specific photographers such as Cody, Poaku, and Hinano. They're currently here. And Brace is learning too. Right? KVIKS also does graphic design for T-shirts and other online things. So we designed the logos for homecoming this year. Also the National Honor Society. You see them walk around with their shirts, right? The coveted bathroom pass that every student has to wear when they go to the bathroom, or at least swing it around like a lanyard. That's interesting, right? So we have students like that. This is of course fake from today, but that gives you the idea. And of course, hands-on internships with Naleo TV. So Naleo TV is channel 52, 53, 54 on Spectrum Cable. They also have an app and a website, and they have offered to give our students internships. And they've actually, most of you here have worked with them, I believe, right? Plaka, you ran camera for one of their live streams before. Jody actually did a technical directing for one of their live streams before, I think, right? Yeah, I think they're live right there. Yeah. Presley also got to shadow, I think. And did you get to do anything? Maybe not really. You shadow. I know Jazz. You also worked with them too. Yeah. Did you guys watch Mary Monarch last year? Maybe you heard about it. Yeah. You might have seen 3 commercials that was funded by the Hawaii County Tourism. What's it? I forget, but it's basically Hawaii County Tourism or Hawaii State Tourism. They wanted to show Hawaii Island, or especially Hilo, as a destination, not just for family, but to visit. And so there was a partnership between Kamehameha Schools, Hilo High School, basically KVIKS TV, and Naleo TV. And they went out and made 3 PSAs. And they were broadcasted during the commercials at Mary Monarch. And each of those students did get a scholarship from that. Yeah. And especially if they didn't graduate, that scholarship will be waiting for them when they graduate. So they already have something. Yeah. And that's pretty cool. So we're always open to opportunities. Now, Leo TV, we're really, really close with them. Whenever they have a game here on campus, on our campus especially, they ask us, hey, you guys, some guys who want to come and help us out, right? Yeah, we do. Send them out. Teach them how to do everything. And that just goes to show that we do actual broadcasting, the skills do apply to industry. I do believe Jodi's able and capable of doing this because she was so well versed in our streaming technology too. Yeah, it was just a simple which buttons mean what change of mindset. Yeah, and it's super impressive because you get to see these high school students working with these professionals, national award-winning professionals to be exact, right? And when it comes to hyper-local broadcasting. So that's pretty cool. And they also said that if we ever made a video, we can just put it on Naleo TV if we wanted to. Alright, so that's what KVIKS TV does. How are we organized? Because there's a lot of different things going on for KVIKS. So we have this thing called KVIKS TV Studios now. These are our two producers, Madison Bartolome and Pressy Domingo. Pressy's here. Maddie's currently a manager at Water Polo right now. And so they're in charge of actually producing the morning bulletin. They're in charge of the space back here and also helping writing skits and PSAs. So that's the studios. So Pressy's a freshman, Maddie's a senior. When she graduates, Pressy will be in charge. And that's a lot of things to put on the shoulders of a freshman, right? Which means he needs a team, right? So every day after school for KVIKS, we have up to 5 people come in, up to 7 people come in to do different jobs. We have someone switching, directing, editing, supervising, and then teleprompter and microphone, along with the anchor. And so they all work together to make the morning bulletin, and the shifts change per day, depending on skill and availability. For broadcasting, we have Jazz. She's a broadcast chair, recently appointed. She's in charge of organizing all the live streams, so that includes athletics and all the different live streams coming up. We'll show you a list of what's coming up too. For online, freshman Anthony Pham is online chair. And he was also recently appointed, and he's in charge of the Hila School website, app, and social media. Anthony's also the class president for the freshman class. So he also has a lot on his plate, too, right? But he also has another team of 3 people. They're called the Online News Desk. That's Alec, Chris, and Dow. And Dow was here, but he just left. Yeah, and this is a picture of Dow working very hard on the website. Wait, is that Fortnite? Did you put this picture? no, I put this picture. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. No, so every content that goes on the website, you can tell when it's a student versus an adult publishing it, but we try to polish it up as much as possible. I think the online news desk gets the most amount of constructive feedback from us because they're the ones that people actually see when they go on our stuff. So we've been trying to tighten them up, but. This adventure with this new department actually started about 3 weeks ago. So it used to be different people running the website, but now it's definitely these 4 people editing on the website. And then we have other graphics artists like the school president, Jenny Kamimura, and also Joseph Gardner, helping create posts for social media. So here's our upcoming projects. We have 10 live streams coming up for boys volleyball. We also will be live streaming. This is a secret. No one, don't tell anyone. Oh, should we? Shh. We're also streaming the grand opening of the Student Federal Credit Union. That's opening up in the library. We're gonna take up one of the star sessions. So you guys won't be singing OEVA or song practice. You'll be at this thing, yeah. Speaking of OEVA, we're also gonna be streaming OEVA competition, right? So that's the opening of the May Day. And then, of course, the May-Day program during the day and the evening. And we were also requested by Kika Elementary School to take care of their May-Day Hoike. And that's going to be an off-campus field trip for KVIKS. Last year we did Kapilani Elementary School. We might do it again this year. We'll be doing Senior Week AV coverage, along with Senior Farewell AV coverage. Commencement, we're still debating whether or not we're going to do it or not. We would love to have the sheet cred of live streaming our commencement this year, but there's too many logistical things to take care of. And then underclassmen awards, if they ever do it as an assembly. And then of course the 2 concerts for complex areas, band and ambassadors. And also what's missing is the Mamma Mia musical. We'll be covering that as well. So these are all these projects. And now if you look around the room, right, these are the only kids who can make it to a parent meeting, right? So how do we organize it to get people to actually show up? So this is how we do it. And this is what we ask you guys to actually take a look at. So this is our When I Work app. We use a free subscription up to 75 people. Good thing we only have 30 or 37, right? And so as you can see from this little spreadsheet here, it actually shows open shifts. So we need commentators, broadcast text, camera operators, how many we need, at what time we need them, and what day we need them. And then below that, you see a normal schedule that's been made per week. So this is actually next week's schedule for KVIKS. We have this thing called App Developer. Some of our KVIKS TV students, actually, I think the app's going to be put under KVIKS TV as well. So Hilo High School was given the task by the superintendent of DOE to create an app that will be used statewide. And then it was passed down to KVIKS TV to take care of it as well. So we have students who are working on that app as part of KVIKS. We have, like, for example, Chris. He is an online producer, so he every day checks the spreadsheets that we get from everyone, pulls the information online, and then, of course, it says when he's supposed to anchor or be a boom operator. So green means any kind of studio opportunities, blue means broadcasting, and then yellow or kind of beige or dark brown is online things. You see a little check mark next to Alex's name? That means he saw and accepted all of his positions, all his shifts. So we know for sure that Alex is going to come and be here that day. Everyone else apparently did not see it yet. So, and that's one of the challenges that we're having, is that the students aren't checking their information, or sometimes they're checking, but then they got to ask, oh, I have to figure out if I'm available that day. So we are trying to get organized. We've been using this for about 1 month now. Before, it used to just be, we hope someone's here after school, right? And then we tried to use Band for our live streams, and yet not everyone will respond. And that was always a big confusion. So we are actually trying to get organized with this. And so if your student says, hey, I need to download this app on my phone, or what are you doing? Well, I'm checking my When I Work app. That's literally, this thing changes all the time. All the time. So how many students are in KVIKS TV? We have 37 students as part of KVIKS TV. 37. How many actually participate? 15. Right? That's unfortunate. How many students are needed for live streams? 8 to 10. With the roster of 37 students, that seems that shouldn't be a problem, right? How many actually show up? The same 5 people. Yeah? And if you're one of those students who don't show up to live streams, this is not to make you feel bad. At all. Yeah, Cody. right. We're just trying to give you guys an idea as to how much KVIKS does, yet compared to how little people actually show up to do the things, right? How many needed for the morning bulletin? 7. How many show up? 5. Yeah, so for example, today we had all the shifts scheduled, but yet 3 people didn't show up for the shifts, even though they said they were going to be here. So that was a problem. Yeah. So again, so why so little? We have a lot of members, yet why is the students so small, right? Sometimes the students aren't even aware that there were open shifts available for them to take for live streams, or they weren't even aware of the things that we were doing. Sometimes students have no ride. Sometimes students choose to leave campus for food and then return later, after production is done. Also, students have extracurricular activities, like we mentioned before. Some have PALC, some have band, some have sports, right? But also, ultimately, we understand that students have other commitments as well. Looking at the When I Work app, they're actually able to set when they're available in advance, right? So if they're unavailable, we're not going to be assigning them to do anything. We understand that. They're unavailable, right? And so here's what we basically want to share with you, the parents, and also the kids who are here. This is what we view as commitment. Now, the reason why we're going to talk about this is because how many of you are, like, for example, ever played in athletic sport? Or, right, athletic sport, yeah. And then, how involved are the parents there when it comes to sports? Pretty involved, right? If you look at the Hilo High School sports here, right, especially the football program, of course they have like 50 people playing in their football program, and they have equally double the amount of parents, right? Every game they have, the parents feed them before and after the game. right? And then the parents jot them off to school. They take them to practice every day, even on holidays, weekends, whenever, right? The parents are fully committed. The parents fundraise for them. The parents make them shirts for them, and then they deal with all the logistics for the program, right? Right now, it's being handled by 4 students, the officers, plus the 3 advisors. And sometimes we're not always available, yeah? And then even like robotics, as an example. When it comes to like first robotics season, right? Sometimes the parents are providing food every single day for 6 weeks. Every day needs to bring food, yeah? KVIKS, we work very regularly, very long, and very often, yeah? So most times our students, they don't have money with them to pay for concession, right? Sometimes they ate lunch, but then the live stream lasted until 10 o'clock at night. And by the time they're done, they're super hungry, right? Or they leave campus and then they just don't come back because they went to go eat, right? The irony was KVIKS never got done in 1 hour because kids would leave, go off campus, get food, then come back. And then we basically would just, like, all anchors would have left already. And then we would have just said, we'll just do it ourselves. Yeah. And then sometimes the students, they don't, oh yeah, so here. So basically this is what we want from the students moving forward. So all members are expected to basically remain in communication with us, right? Yes, we have 37 members, and very happily, all 37 continue to remain in communication with us, right? That's why we don't kick them out. We do have some students that we did kick out before because they would not tell us whether or not they're still in our program. They didn't tell us when they're available. They basically just left us, abandoned us, yeah? And so we don't want to say we abandoned them too, that they're still open for them to rejoin, right? But we're going to remember that, hey, we have a meeting, no response. Hey, we have to do this. Can you come to this live stream? No response. At least our students are replying back to us saying, hey, no, I'm not available, yeah? We ask, as part of commitment, is that people do confirm their attendance in advance. We're going to get the weekly schedule out at least a week in advance, right? On Wednesdays, we plan for the next week already. So Tuesday, Wednesday, you can already bet that if you have a live stream on next week, Wednesday, Friday, we're going to be scheduling that in already, yeah? And then, of course, follow through on a commitment to work. Some of the students have in the past said they're going to come, they're going to be here, but then they don't show up, right? That was a huge problem for us. Because we already, in a sense, we're working for clients as well, right? The schools are client, the athletic teams are a client, right? We tell them we're going to do something for them, and yet we don't have enough staff to do it. It kind of feels like we're reneging on our promise, yeah? And so it's not KVIKS TV program itself that wants to broadcast. We were given a basically a request from administration. They want to give as much presence to Hilo High School athletics as possible, right? And not just that, not just for our athletics, they also want us to promote all other high school athletics programs as well. Because that's the one thing that we find people have the most pride in, is when they see those kind of things. And of course, what other schools do you know now that actually broadcast live all our assemblies, all our games? Yeah, only Wahoo schools. Yeah. And so there's only 2 schools in Oahu that we know do it. That's on a regular basis. So that's Waianae High School, and that's Moanalua High School. And they do something similar to us. But I think Hilo High School actually surpassed them in the scope of work that needs to get done. And then lastly, we ask all our students to be involved in projects. So if people can actually provide any support possible. Yeah, projects do have a limit, but we need people to actually fill that limit. That's what we find is that we're not finding people to fulfill that requirement for us. So of course, have all members been following through on their commitment? Unfortunately, as you can see here tonight, no. Yeah, and now some of the members here, like I talk about the remaining communication. This doesn't include those who said they couldn't come due to prior engagements. This includes the students who did not acknowledge the meeting at all. Yeah? Do constant reminders. This has been gone out for about a week now. Right? It's just sad to see that, like, yeah, no. And compared to our numbers before, we have 37 students. How many actively participate? 15. it's the same 5 to 7 kids every day making KVIKS at the live streams. And there's sometimes the same kids who, after making KVIKS, go do the live streams. Yeah, they literally work from after school from 1 to 8 to 9 o'clock p.m. That's an 8-hour job. They're not getting paid. Yeah, especially the staff here. So some work part-time, some work full-time. After 4:30, I'm not getting paid. Yeah, all the work that we do after school or through the week, not getting paid. But of course, we love this. We love what this program is about. We love doing it. We love streaming. We love the kids. So we commit to that. That's our promise to them. Yeah, and so that's why we just ask if we can get a little bit of commitment back from them too. Yeah, because we are really like, most of us actually know. I would say at least a handful of the advisors today, they would say KVIKS is their recreation, is their what they do, is what they, like, yeah, we have friends, right? We have other other activities or hobbies we take care of, but KVIKS is kind of like one of our most main things that we do, yeah? And it kind of sort of defines us, yeah? And that's interesting, but it's fun, yeah? So yeah. So here's how you guys can help. So the few parents, thank you very much for coming tonight. We really appreciate it. We're going to try to get the other parents to watch this video as well. And again, this might kind of sound kind of pessimistic, kind of sounds like we're whining, complaining, but honestly, we're so grateful for the students. We're grateful for your support that you're giving to the students as well. Truly, and we cannot exist without the students. We have 37 students. We believe we have 37 students. Yeah? When I think about every single one of them by name and what they're doing, I'm so amazed as to how they find time to balance KVIKS with their personal lives, school, and their other extracurriculars. Yeah? But starting tonight, we really want to share with you guys the real perspective of KVIKS. Yeah? Like, yes, we understand if you do another sport or another program, those are important. Right? But when it comes to the stakes of what KVIKS does, right, the work that we do, I personally, and this is my opinion, believe is more important than other extracurricular activities. Like, yes, our job is to broadcast sports, right? But not just that. It's all the other things, right? The fact that we have to get information out to the student body, how we get information out to our parent community, and also our alumni, the entire Viking community, yeah? And the stakes are so much more higher, right? And if you ever mess up, right, it's public. It's very, very public. We have had live streams in the past where they were understaffed, and they were also crewed by kids who were just newly trained. They slipped, and it's not the little things like, oh, the camera didn't move fast enough. They swore on camera, were very unprofessional. They would show up sometimes not focused, grouchy, right? And then you could see it in their work. And ask them, was it us? No, it wasn't you guys, right? It's something else. And since then, we put measures in place to prevent that, to provide training and also to teach professionalism, right? In our work ethic. It's just that, like, those mistakes, we got calls, texts from a lot of people saying, hey, that wasn't right. That doesn't belong here, right? And it's like, people really believe that the work that we do represents the school. Yeah, but yeah, and yeah. So anyways, how you guys can help is basically have direct perspective. As an example, maybe you haven't known this, but and I don't want to make it sound super, high maka, all over putting yourselves on a pedestal or anything. This is some really inspiring words that we've heard back from our audience, right? Especially one from our campus area superintendent. Yeah, this is super, and she told us in front of the two ladies from Oahu who are helping us develop the app. She says, when I think of Hilo High School, I immediately think of their digital media program, KVIKS TV. Yeah, because like, she was trying to explain to us, when I think of Kyoka Elementary School, I think about culture. When I think about Kamai Elementary School, where I think about their structure. When I think about Hilo Intermediate School, I think about their curriculum. Right? But when she thinks about Hilo High School, she thinks about our digital media program as one of the highlights of the school. And so we found that comment to be, very wonderful and very happy to hear. As you mentioned before, we're deeply integrated with the Hilo High School Communications Department, right? And we mentioned who they were a part of, which is the administration and tech. And of course, we're more involved in any other program, sport or class other than the student body government. So when you see kids coming here on the weekend, aside from sports, who are here voluntarily, right? It's either SBG, Student Body Government, or KVIKS. And that's impressive. Another perspective to have is the consequences of a lack of commitment can affect the student body itself, right? As an example, not enough AV crew can cause rallies to be canceled. A lazy morning bulletin can cause people to lose interest in it and misinformation. And again, I'm putting it here, KVIKS is highly regarded as a successful program of Hilo High School by others. So, and it's not just the superintendent, it's like we get back feedback from our audience, from teachers, from other schools who are trying to mimic us, right? And we use mimic in a very nice way because we're willing to share with them how we do it. Yeah? We have an active partnership with YK High School. We talk to them all the time, right? Some of our skits are based off of the work that they've done. But it's like, even like whenever, like some of our students who work closely with us, like Naleo TV did a live stream of our Viking boys volleyball game versus HPA. When they saw one of our commentators, Joseph Gardner, Jazz's brother, right? They said, "Oh, there's Joseph Gardner, KVIKS TV, Hilo High School," right? It's an amazing job doing commentary at all their games. Joseph commentated all our basketball games and all our other volleyball games too. And even our school activity coordinator, Miss Masahara, she swears Joseph does a better job than Naleo TV. And I say, "What? Really?" Because we're there live, right? We're like, "Oh, Joseph, why do you say that?" Right? But apparently it means so much to the audience to hear, like, even a local person who knows what they're talking about and also who knows the people playing. Yeah? Joseph really brings the heart to the broadcast. And that's why we believe we need commentators. Yeah? So it's so important. And then, of course, here's how you can support your child or student, right? Make sure their uniform is clean and ready to go. We do have a shirt. Jody's wearing one right now. Right? So that's our uniform. We typically want to wear it when we're working, especially at live streams, because that's kind of is your ticket in. Then you got to pay. Yeah? And sometimes it also gives us a sense of place. Yeah? Something very similar. Like even our ID cards, they all have a press pass issued to them. It looks like this. Some of you have lost it. Ashley Thomas, I found your student ID card. You can see me later. Someone actually came in and said, "Do you know this kid?" Yeah. Yeah, and then sometimes they literally ask them, "Where's your shirt?" "Oh, it's still in the laundry." But the live stream was last week. It's like, oh, shucks. Like, of course, we're not saying you have to be the ones to clean it. If the kids do their own laundry, just be sure to do it at all costs, right? And then provide transportation to and from events. Part of the application mentioned that you do give your permission for an advisor or the student to drive themselves to the event, right? That also includes taking them home if you want us to. Yeah, we try to, because actually, ironically, all our students don't live in our school area. Some of them are GE'd in, right? So some live in either in Paradise Park or all the way in Honolulu, right? Or all the way up Kaumana. So it's sometimes before KVIKS, before we got the parents involved, we were dropping our kids up on the mountain on Kaumana, then going down to Keaukaha, then Waikea, then going back home to Wainaku. So that was fun. Yeah, but of course we're so grateful for what the kids did that we offer them that kind of service and provision. And then if possible, right, if they're coming on a non-school day, or if you know they're going to be working late, right, especially for a live stream with concession, just send them with a little something, if possible. And then you can also help by helping with fundraising. We tried to get the students to organize a fundraiser. They failed. I'm looking at you, Jazz.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, so you guys probably maybe have done help with fundraising with the other grade levels before in the past. Maybe you have some insight. Maybe you have some connections with people that we can fundraise with. We'll take whatever we can get. And then in our efforts to try to be organized, we did start a catering department. Not to create food and sell to others, but really just to provide food for our crew. Yeah, like when you look at the movie sets and you look at the credits, maybe you watch the credits, it says catering right there. You have to feed the crew and the talent, yeah, and the actors. And because KVIKS literally works every single day, right? We have our live streams that go late. We try to start up like a kind of a fund that can support and pay for those kind of things. Yeah, that way let us go give us the money to buy some snacks and actually feed everybody. Yeah. The really unfortunate thing is not everyone in our KVIKS program is well-to-do. Yeah, there are some students who do have to, who do depend on extra sources of income, and or maybe they're unable to provide, and sometimes they do go hungry. But we do not want them to, you know, on our behalf, go hungry. Yeah. So sometimes we would go out and buy them food too, but that again, that also takes a toll on the advisors. Yeah. So and we're doing that out of the love of our own heart, but we're trying to get this organized. But until then, we'll be happy to continue to provide. Right? Wink. They're saying no. Yeah. So we're trying to get this organized. The catering department. So and it's very simple. You know, like things like snacks. Right? We have a fridge here. Yeah. Some people might be allergic to certain items, so we have to make sure that other options are available. But we have water, we have coolers, we have ice, right? And like really, when it comes to like, if you think about all the other extracurricular activities, like sports or whatever, the parents are bringing coolers, they're bringing paid lunches, whatever, just for their kids. But sometimes they bring a family style, potluck style, yeah. And when it comes to this, like we're not asking you guys to bring a full-on buffet spread, right? It could be as simple as, hey, here's $10, go buy some water, right? Or buy some like snacks, like chips, or you can buy sandwiches. And we started to create a menu of how much it would cost. We do have a person who's willing to cook for us, but they gave us the totals. And when you really think about it, donating $2.50 per live stream, right, and that can feed 10 people is cheaper than paying like about $10 for yourself at the live stream itself. Yeah. We have the capability to get this organized, but we just need help getting started with that. And then of course, if you're willing to, right, offer to provide a small meal for our crew members at a live stream. And it doesn't have to be every time. Right? We only have 10 live streams coming up this next 2 months. Yeah, and sometimes it may be very short, and we're not asking you to come at the end, right? You can come during setup, right? And it doesn't have to be a pit lunch. It can literally just be like bringing a box of pizza, right? $8, yeah, or $16 you buy 2. But then of course, if we slowly fundraise for this, right, you can take care of that too. We did ask the school if we could officially use KVIKS funds, like for the club funds, to pay for food. On paper, you can't. You can only buy refreshments, right? And that takes an entire PO process, which is much slower than, hey, here's some $10, here's $20, right? We call our slush fund the McChicken fund, not a slush fund. We call our petty cash fund the McChicken fund, as a more of a joke, because the idea was you put all your spare change in here, right? Eventually, that would be enough to pay for a McChicken for someone, yeah. And the McChicken fund actually started with the text before, where we would just drop any kind of cash in there. Like I would go buy someone lunch, they gave me cash, I just throw it in the McChicken fund, because I know one day we're gonna say, hey, I want to go to McDonald's. Want anything? I don't have cash. Oh, I'll just take from here, yeah. So we actually applied that same McChicken fund ideology to KVIKS. Whenever we're going to go somewhere and someone wants to get something to eat and they don't have money, we tell them, oh, check the box, right? Check the can. If there's money there, we'll get you something, yeah. Or at least subsidize it, right? Because I'm pretty sure if we're willing to get the food, we're willing to pay the full amount anyways. Yeah. So, and we know only some members can do that. Yeah. But we really want to make sure our crew is taken care of. Yeah. So, and we're not trying to say this is bribes for our kids, you know, hey, come to the stream, we'll feed you. No, we just want to make it it's just trying to do them right by, especially if they work 6 hours. Yeah. That's a long time, right? And some of them are standing on their feet, they're moving camera, they're using their brains, active thinking, right? So and then of course they're setting up everything in a rush 1 hour, right? So it can be very stressful. So here's our personal goals, and also personnel goals. Down the line, we want to get 100% of coverage for our projects. We want to get 100% confirmation and fulfill shifts open, fulfill shifts on when I work. So this may seem daunting, but honestly, we only have 5 to 7 different things going on, right? And when it comes to confirmation, it could also be I'm unavailable, yeah? We just want to get that one piece of information back. Are you available or are you not? Yeah? Our also goals is to fundraise for inter-island and out-of-state field trips. So this is actually pretty interesting. So YK High School, and actually a lot of the schools that have media programs, the reason why they're not focused on broadcasting is because they're so focused on these video competitions on the mainland. And that's their one field trip. They work all year, they fundraise all year, even 2 years in advance. And then they go to like the West Coast or East Coast of the United States, and they go to the Student Television Network. Yeah, and then they show off their videos, and then learn even more things from the. It's kind of like a conference for that, and so that's we're working towards that, and also we're also getting invitation from other schools to hey come take a look at how we do things, and then share with us how you do things. So inter-island collaboration, and then help us. We need to fundraise for necessary equipment and services. So very thankfully, because KVIKS is embedded with the school is willing to pay for most of our equipment. Most of our equipment came from the foundation, the High School Foundation, who has a dinner tonight. Yeah, but like the chairs, the tables, the cameras, they all came from the school. All our broadcast equipment came from the school. And then, like even the equipment that we buy, we try not to buy the most expensive thing, but we tend to now buy things that work. So like these cameras here, we could have settled with lower end cameras, but these just work. You plug it in, they work. You don't have to teach anyone, just plug it in, they work. Yeah, you don't have to teach them how to convert it, do anything, just plug it in here, plug it in here. This is how you use it, that's it, done. Even intercom. Before we used to use cell phones, we used to use a service called Discord. They had to have earphones, and of course people were cheering loud, right? You tell them, okay, pan left, pan left, pan left, right? And then they're like, huh? We bought a $5,000 intercom system, and now pan left. Whoa, you don't have to talk so loud, right? So it's the same intercom system that Naleo uses, and also Mary Monarch. So it's and we actually have the same equipment provider now as them. Yeah, so and they're very local guys too. They're very funny. They came out to visit us, and all they could talk about was they were very impressed that we were using a simple camcorder for the morning bulletin. They said, you can do this, right? It's like, oh wow, I'm learning so much. They said, okay, yeah. So, all right, Marian Monarch. Hilo High School gets to choose 2 kids a year to actually intern at that Marian Monarch, actually operating equipment. So Nicholas Airhorn last year was there. He also, and you were there too, Jody? Yeah, Jody was there too. One of our people got hired. Tyler Kunodi, he got hired after interning at Marian Monarch and did it the next year after that. So, and now they're telling us they don't want us to send seniors anymore. They want us to send freshmen. They want us to send sophomores. People who's going to come back the next year who knew what to do already, right, and work. Yeah. And like, they do everything from sitting in the trailer, sitting behind the people pushing the buttons, saying what buttons to push, all the way to home base where they're with like Kelly Tucker. They're with the other guys, right, inside the home base in their interview section, at the camera, right, working. It's cool. Yeah, and that's why like it's we truly believe in this program because it really does introduce people to the industry. Yeah. And of course, our number one goal is to remain in constant communication with all our parties involved in our success. So that's not only includes the students anymore. From this meeting, we want to include all of you, the parents as well. Yeah? And also the mentors and advisors. So we do have 4 other teachers who are affiliated with our program too. Yeah? And we even, this is the number one problem that we have right now, right, is a lack of communication, right? And this is what we're hoping you guys can all help us fix, right? Because sometimes the kids, they may not want to ask you guys. It's like, oh, are we available, right? Or like, you don't know what the answer is. But now you know what we need to do, right? This kind of opens up that door to now you know, oh, these kids, oh, KVIKS, yeah. Yeah, can you come in? Sure, yeah. Well, we can be available for that day, yeah. I know the kids in one of my, just my preachy moments, they said, no longer will we be the ones who beg for people to show up, right? We're going to be the ones to tell people you have to show up one day, right? One day you want to. Of course, we don't want to be forceful, right? But we just want to be that one program that says, hey, we know you have other commitments too, but we are also a commitment. Yeah? Kind of like you go to church. You go to church on a Sunday, that's your commitment, right? You just do sports. right? You have to go to practice. That's your commitment, right? Well, guess what? Our broadcast days are our commitment. Our production after school is a commitment. Yeah? When we have to we have a rally in the daytime during lunch, that's your commitment. Right? Don't just think of it, KVIKS, oh, I said I'll go, but I'm sure they'll get someone to cover it. Right? We don't want that kind of lack of commitment. Yeah? We want you to straight up tell us, I couldn't make it, sorry. But at least give us consideration too. Yeah? We understand there are so much more important things other than KVIKS, right? But this is what our one request is that sometimes there are some things that are just important to us. Yeah? And it means the world at least to get a response. Because if you look at all of our RSVPs, 10 people respond. That's it. Right? 30 out of 37. So again, from our humble beginnings, right? This is the very first iteration of the program back in 2017. Right? This is all the broadcast media kids. To our rapid growth the next year, right? When we introduce any other students can join the program. And to the future. This is us now. All these students, all these smiling faces are affiliated with us. Except for the ones that are covered up by Presley. That's funny. Yeah. You see that? You see that clear change in staff? We are very rapidly growing. Right? And because we rapidly grow, we take on more and more responsibilities. Right? But again, 5, 7 people show up. Right? We need all these smiling faces to be participating in our projects, right? They don't have to just do it here. Online department can do it from home. Broadcasting, we can plan it from home, right? But when it comes to just our specific days, our KVIKS days, we really do ask for your assistance in that. So yeah. So thank you for coming to our meeting. We hope to get you out. It is 7:16. We do have some food here if you want to eat, but other than that, that's it. If you have any questions, now's a good time. But yeah, but thank you. Thank you so much. This is our club now, and we just hope to see it expand in the future. Thank you. That's it. Jody, anything to say to the parents?
Thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed this presentation.
Yeah. So before you guys go, if you can at least, or maybe tell your students to text us your email address or your phone number, right? We do want to remain in communication. If you want to let you guys know what we're doing, yeah, if you want my business card, I have it. I got to get rid of it anyway, so just take it all, right, if you want. And then, yeah, so we plan on being more informative with our parents from now on. Yeah, with everyone. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Please take a slice of pizza. Who? Oh, that's Nicole. Yeah.
Did she join?
Okay, wait, that's still going.
Oh,
Bye.
Kind of just was like,
How did, I want to see, yeah, it was 15 years as a public school teacher, but I was, that's why
Okay, Presley, it's on you.
I did intermediate school.
And we're out.